Hi everyone, welcome to the live share session. And today we are going to talk about augmented reality, bringing the virtual world to life. I am Hakun from the Live H2H and Live Share team. Welcome everyone to join us tonight or this morning. So here by my side, we have Nabil from Athir, and he is the Director of Professional Services. So before this, I would like to remind everybody there will be about 10 minutes Q&A session after Nabil introduced everything about Aether and augmented reality. And please type in your question into the chat box, and we are able we would be able to select some of the questions and ask Nabil after his presentation. At the same time, as you can see on the whiteboard, there's a slide, and this is a screenshot showcase how you can change languages that you're hearing. So you would be able to select Chinese, Japanese, and Spanish. So without further ado, I will give the floor to Nabil. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the session tonight and or this morning, depending where you are. Today we're gonna talk about the augmented reality, um, and specifically about Aether and how Aether views augmented reality, specifically for the enterprise world. As a little introduction, Aether is a company in the Silicon Valley in Mountain View. Started in early 2012 in building AR, building augmented reality glasses and software. We actually call it at Aether AIR, AIR, which stands for Augmented Interactive Reality, because of the user experience that we're bringing into the augmented reality world, basically being able to uh, touch the content and interact with the content, not only view the content. I've been at Aether from the beginning, from day one, and my background is in machine learning and data analysis and algorithms, and I've been running over the last 2 years the customer engagement, so a lot about the use cases, a lot about how the customers and the enterprise world is seeing augmented reality and what exactly they need from augmented reality. And basically, so we'll discuss more about that, the use cases, the high ROI use cases, uh, and how different customers are looking at using AR or AIR, augmented interactive reality, in their enterprises. I will start in the beginning, just talking about the paradigm of computing and what we think the next generation of computing is. We all remember, use the laptops, cell phones, and if you remember, some of you maybe and maybe not. All of these started in the enterprise. The early Apple computers were basically brought in to help with the accounting and to help in speeding the accounting systems in the enterprise. Similarly, smartphones started with BlackBerry and with the iPhones, and were initially for the enterprise world. So the executives were using these smartphones for email, for access to content, and all of that. They were more expensive, and then they moved after years to the consumer world. We think and we believe, and all the indication are pointing that the for augmented reality is going to be very similar. It's going to start, or it is starting, in the enterprise world, and meaning by enterprise world, uh, companies that need uh, companies in the industrial world, all the applications from repair, maintenance, warehouse fulfillment, inspection, medical and treating, surveying, uh, all of those applications. Um, for multiple reasons, specifically on AR, the cost, the form factor of glasses, all of that. The cost is still high. The form factor is still a little big for consumers. There's a lot of user experience that still needs to be figured out before we see the mass production. And basically, the high ROI use cases are in the enterprise world, meaning for a lot of use cases you can use AR to save a lot of money, to save a lot of time, to reduce costs and all that, and it's very much needed in a lot of the industrial and enterprise use cases. So at Aether, when we started, this is early 2012, we started with the vision that, we want to break the rule of having a small screen to connect to the virtual world. We all use these phones, and but the thing is, and with all the time we spend on phones, it's basically a small screen as an access or a window to the virtual world. But everybody wants a bigger phone or a bigger screen, but it's portable. But basically, with these form factors, you get, if you want a bigger screen and more information, you end up needing a bigger hardware. So the paradigm shift was with having the displays being close to the eyes, so that you can get a big screen with a small hardware, and basically breaking or bringing the virtual out to the real world and being able to interact with it. Um, that is the idea. And then where we started noticing, or where we're getting a lot of requests, was from the industrial world, from the enterprise, from the insurance world, from the manufacturing, the assembly lines, the medical sector, all of that, where we saw that there's a lot of use cases for these technologies, and this is where this whole AR is starting. Uh, so as I was saying, we at Aether, we want to change how we see the world, and basically we want quick access to information. You want information to come to you when you need it. We want to with a flick of a finger, you can bring the content that you need. Uh, that the ease of accessing content. And the second big thing is contextualization. Basically, with these with the glasses, wearing glasses and being able to sense a lot of the world around you, basically uh, from the cameras that it has or the different sensors, you can really figure out where the person is or what the person is needs, and uh, or what the context is, and bring in the content that is according to the context. So contextual computing is a big thing. Sensing and figuring out what a person needs quicker, and getting that information in a quick way is one of the basic things in AR and in smart glasses. Um, and has been the direction that we're going with. The other thing that we added to it, the other thing that we're adding to the content, is the capabilities to touch it. So with the Ether technology, with the Air augmented interactive reality, as you see in the picture, you'll be able to see the content virtually in a screen in front of you. floating, and then you'll be able to see the world. It's the displays are see-through, and the cool thing now that you can also touch it. You can really touch it with your bare finger, with your hands. You can, open the apps. You can pull the content. You can do a video call. You can look at the 3D model and then look at different parts of the 3D model, all with touching uh, the 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 virtual content. So a big thing for the user experience of augmented reality is the capability to be able to touch the content, and this made a lot of sense to the enterprise world because a lot of the jobs, what we call them at Athir, the deskless professionals, are the people who are like the field technicians, the people who are fixing or repairing or inspecting or assembling or treating. They need their hands for their jobs. So having glasses or smart glasses, wearing them, seeing the content that you need for your job, and being able to interact with it once you need it with your hands makes it very powerful. So imagine fixing a plane or inspecting a boiler or treating a patient. You're working with your hands, you see the content that you need, and if you want to do interact with the content, you can touch it with your hand. That is something very important. Aether has a lot of IP, a lot of intellectual property on these interactions. The main thing about it is having these glasses mobile, running on a battery, and being able to run these gesture algorithm on a mobile platform. Um, this has been something difficult for the people who know background in computer vision and gesture algorithms. They would recognize that this is a difficult problem, basically doing gesture recognition on a mobile device. You don't need a big PC. You don't need a big to be plugged into power. So with the Aether technology, with the Air glasses and the Air OS, basically, you will be able to interact with the content with a mobile device running on a battery and a portable device. So that is a piece uh, of the user experience that is needed for AR. So focusing more in Aether, we bringing this technology, and we realized before a couple of years ago that the main traction and the main use of AR or of the Air augmented interactive reality is in the enterprise world, and what we call them the fast professional. Fast stands for fix, assemble, survey, and treat. So probably uh, the category that is where we think the use will be the most uh, is in the fix and assemble. And these are the high fixing heavy machinery, industrial world, oil and gas, utilities, the energy sector. This is going to be, we'll talk more in details what these use cases are. Another big sector is the survey, the insurance and construction, and the third one is the treat or healthcare. So in the fix and assemble, the target is to get faster task completion and reduce downtime and error rate. So and think about the oil and gas. If you are in on an oil rig and a pump breaks, this could cost a lot of money, millions of dollars per day. So if you save uh, hours or in fixing the problem, you'd be saving a lot of time. And with the promise with AR and what what we've been piloting and testing and using with our customers is basically the use case of remote collaboration. So I'll show you a demo in a little bit, but basically the idea is that the field engineers or the field technicians who are working on these machines, wearing the glasses, they can connect to the experts remote who are remote or to their managers and get their live help. So if I'm fixing, if an emergency happens or like a pump in the oil rig breaks, I can be wearing the glasses and calling an expert to get their help. The expert will be seeing what I'm seeing because the glasses will be transmitting from the camera. It's like a video call through the glasses to the manager or the expert who can be in a different country. Um, and you know, I can get live help uh, on with the problem and get to solve and fix the problem faster. Um, we're seeing it in a lot of places. This use case of remote collaboration and remote expert. Uh, think also of the inspection world or the insurance world. Sometimes something breaks in your factory or in your in the in your airplane or boilers or big machines, and sometimes they would need to send an inspector from one place to another, an expert specific on that problem. Now with the air glasses and the air OS, and you'll be able uh, to call these experts and get their live help right there in the moment without needing to wait for somebody, the expert, to come to the site. Uh, you can think how many use cases this will, how many sectors or how many verticals this use case would apply to. In the healthcare, um there's a similar promise as well, where you need help, you could call the expert, but also the having the display being virtual in the glasses will enable you, as you see in this image, will enable you to have multiple displays, multiple virtual screens. Sorry, so wearing the glasses, you can see multiple screens that are big, and you can present a lot of data. So if a doctor is treating a patient, they can pull all the records of the patient inside the glasses in these virtual screens around them. Uh, this can replace monitors, big monitors in hospitals. This and they'd be able to touch that. You know, they want could they could need to see their the vitals, the scans, the history of the patient. Uh, and they can touch it with their bare hand. This help a lot with contamination, and you don't need to touch anything physical. Um, so that is a big thing. And here probably the next big feature of smart glasses or AR glasses is basically the virtual display, being able to have big displays and and presenting a lot of data, so data visualization and in a mobile device. So I'll move to the next slide. Here in this slide, I'm going to talk about the what Ether offers as a solution, the whole end-to-end system. And basically, Ether and has two products. We have the Air glasses powered by the Air OS, and this is the Air glasses. I have them here. The air glasses. I'll show you a demo in a little bit, but basically you'll be able these glasses run full Android, and as you see in this picture, the user will be able to see a virtual Android tablet that is floating in the air, and they can touch it with their hands. So you'll see all the apps similar to your Android phones or Android tablets, but the apps will be floating in the air. You can see also, you can see through it, you can see the world, and you can interact with these apps. What Athir did with the Air OS basically would replace the touch screen with a virtual touch. Um, we have a depth camera up here, an infrared based depth camera that we use to track the hand. We build our own software and now with our own IP to do the hand tracking and the gesture recognition, and you'll be able to really interact with these apps the same way you would do with your tablet. And this is a very powerful thing because you can load on these glasses any Android app with no change. So we'll see a little bit of that in the demo. So you can load your Android apps and you'll be able to do all the everything you're used to. So you can zoom in, you can rotate, you can tap, you can do all of that. Uh, it's um, it's all rugged and made for the industrial use cases, so it can really be deployed in the field and used uh, for all the use cases we mentioned. Um, we have an external processing unit where it's basically the all the processing and all the batteries, the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, all of that. Uh, and the cool thing about it is it's mobile. You can really have your whole shift in using the glasses running on a battery. Um, so it's fully Android compatible. Um, the other product that Athir has is the Air Suite, which is basically a software platform where you can do all the collaboration and communication. If we have time, I can show you that demo as well. And basically, with the Air Suite, the use case of connecting the field technicians and field engineers to their management and their expert in the office. And so with the Air Suite, the manager will be able to log in on their computers through a web browser to their Ether account, and they will have a dashboard where they can see all their engineers or field technicians, and they can communicate with them. They can send them files, they can send them any type of documents, they can send them messages, and they can have a remote collaboration session where they can call them and with all the cool features of drawing on their screens, annotating. So imagine I'm on the fixing I'm a field engineer fixing a big machine like a plane and or an engine. And I call my manager. They can see what I see, and then they can draw on my screen. They can give me direct instruction, like look at this part, look at that part, remove this, fix that, all of that. Uh, the other big thing with Air Suite is that the manager also in the office can create what we call the task flows or step-by-step instructions. These are, think about them as the new manuals, how you do your tasks. So you can go on in a nice web application and draw that a flow chart where step one, you put the content that you need to do a specific thing. Step two, you need to do something else, if you're and you can attach any content to those steps and send them to the glasses. This is the Air Suite. It's a SaaS product. It's a software as a service product with a subscription based. And the cool thing with it as well is that we're releasing it on all other hardware as well that I brought with me. We release it already on the Vuzix and on Recon from Intel. We released it last week on the ODGs, and we're releasing it in the next couple days on another uh, hardware company with on another smart glasses. Um, and we actually the Aether Air Suite won the Best Enterprise Solution Award at the Augmented World Expo last week. Because basically it's a solution out of the box that you can use in your enterprise. It's ready to be deployed, and it solves or it's used to solve the um, a big use case or to provide a ready solution for a specific use case in for smart glasses, it's been piloted in all those sectors that we talked about, in the construction and insurance, utilities, assembly lines, warehouse fulfillment, and of course in fixing and repairing heavy machinery. The other thing to mention here is also with the Aether system, it's enterprise ready to be connected uh, to the applications and systems in the enterprise, like we see here, Microsoft, VMware, Autodesk. So all those SAP, all those ERPs and CRMs as well, both from the Air Suite and from the Android compatible Air glasses. This explains the current model for Aether, and would love to answer any questions on this and any specific part of it. Um, Let me move next. Um, Sorry, the slides are hanging. It's not going. Oh, okay. Sorry. Now we're good. Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of competitive analysis and an overview what's you know in the AR world of the different glasses and the different. Sorry about that. The system is a little slow on me. Yeah. So here you see the different uh, uh, landscape of smart glasses. You have I won't go into much details, but just to explain, you got the what we call the monocular displays, something like the Vuzix, where you have or Recon, you have a small display on top of your when you wear it, you see that displays a little bit, to the upper side, and it's mobile. It runs full Android, and you can run on it Android apps. You got the ODG and Epson, which are similar to the Aether glasses, binocular, running full Android with two. Uh, these are the ODGs. Running, binocular, two screens. You see a big display. Similarly with the Epson BT2000 as well. They are similar with two screens. Um, and you probably have heard of the Microsoft HoloLens and Magic Leap. Magic Leap is not, there's not much information about it yet. HoloLens is what is called now the mixed reality, where you can really attach content to the real world. Uh, but at Aether, what the Aether with the Air OS and the Air glasses, we really provide rich visuals, big screen, interactive, mobile, running on the battery, full Android compatibility, and fully enterprise ready and ready to be deployed. And as a background to the company and the leadership in the company, we have a strong team that has a strong expertise. Alberto Torres, our CEO, comes from a strong background. He was a senior VP at HP. He was at Nokia. He was the CEO of Vertu. Sulaiman Itani, our founder and CTO, is uh, started the company in the late 2011. He has a PhD from MIT. Frank Nuovo is our chief designer. He's also the chief designer uh, Nokia and Vertu, and the rest of the executive team is fully um, experienced with the enterprise world, with the new technologies, and how to bring these new technologies to the market, um, and really nailing down the product and the customer and go to market strategy. Um, the last slide that before I show you the demo, I wanted to talk about what we think in the future, and how things are gonna, we think, move forward. Initially, this is, we're still in the enterprise world. We are in the early days. Although all the projections are showing that it's going to be a huge industry, digital capital are expecting the AR VR market to be around $120 billion by 2020, with AR being the main aspect. Uh, we can talk later about the difference between AR and VR as well. The next big, so as we said, these use cases are going to be the fast use cases. So the fix, assemble, survey, and treat. The next big uh, 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 thing after the enterprise, and after the devices become more user friendly or smaller in size and lower in cost, uh, it's gonna hit the prosumer market. These are the professional customers. So a lot of training, visualization, uh, a lot of probably sports and uh, uh, use cases. And then, of course, later it's definitely gonna hit the consumer market. Uh, I personally think there is a lot of people would buy a device to replace their laptop. So imagine going to a cafe or instead of taking your laptop and to work, you can have a little smart glass. You put the glass on, you can see a virtual display bigger than your current laptop, and you can do your job. You can send your emails. You can do everything you do on your laptop, but now in a small form factor with a bigger screen. And once you're done, you can, it's pretty small. You can put it in your backpack or in your purse, and you move on. So definitely, there's a lot. As I said in the beginning, use cases later for the consumer. Everybody wants to see, wearing the glasses and walking the street and seeing the directions, or you're looking for uh, Chinese restaurant, and you can see an arrow pointing to the building saying that there is one here with all the reviews and all of that. That is, I think that is definitely gonna happen. It's gonna take a few years for the cost to come down, for uh, the hardware, multiple layers get a little better. But definitely the thing is that I'm stressing on, that the current um, state and what can be delivered as a real product, achieving a very, very good ROI, is in the enterprise world, and as we described them, in the fast use cases. So and you can see probably around the world, all big companies are testing these technologies and are using it in different ways. So uh, I what I like to say, small companies and big companies and small companies all believe that this technology is ready to be used and that there is a high ROI and fast use cases. Um, I'll turn the camera now and I'll show you a little bit of the demo. So bear with me a little bit. I think the TV turned off. So if you see this screen, this is basically what I see in the glasses. So here I'm wearing the glasses and I'm connecting them to the TV to show you what I see in them. And maybe you can show me as well so that they can see what I'm doing. And I see a virtual tablet floating right here, like you see in the monitor on the screen, and I'll be able to interact with it. So I can pull applications like this pump application, and I can interact with it. I can rotate it. I can look um, at the different parts uh, of the pump, and I can do everything that I'm used to on the touch screen, but now with all virtually. I can do this gesture to go home, uh, and so on and so forth. So this is another cool app to show you some of the interaction. These are 3D models that are being rendered in the glasses, and I can do all these gestures that I'm used to on the tablet. So the next thing that I wanted to show you is basically the uh, the the Air Suite with all the remote assistants. I hope you can all hear me. Um, this to the computer. Okay, so here and on my laptop, I am connecting to my Air Suite account, um, where we connect to the Wi-Fi, and basically that is the idea where I can uh, um, I'll connect. I can see all the engineers that are uh, in the field on this side, and I can send them messages. I can do video call with them, and I can send them any type of file or of files or schematics or instructions. All of that, I'll be able to do it from my dashboard here, if you can see it. You can check us out at athirair.com, and you can get a 30-day free trial for Air Suite. Uh, uh, you'll find all the information on the website athirair.com, and you can get 30 days free trial for this remote collaboration and for Air Suite to do all the video calls with your different classes. Um, so check us out at the website. Um, Yes, so this ends the what I had prepared for the presentation, and we're ready for any questions you have about anything we talked about, general stuff about AR, or specific things about what we specifically talked about. Thank you very much. Okay, we have a question about what is the difference between AR and VR, between augmented reality and virtual reality. Uh, Virtual reality is when you really want everything to be virtual. So this is all the type of glasses or headsets that you wear. It blocks your view. You become immersed inside a virtual world. Everything created virtually or digital. You don't see the real world. You know, if you've heard of the Oculus or the Gear VR or all those VR headsets. Main use cases are in gaming. They're pretty cool. You know, you wear them, you have a huge, you get immersed as if you're in a different world, and you can be, you know, view a lot of nice content. And main use cases are what you would see is in gaming, in training. So, training meaning like, you know, before you somebody, let's say in the industrial world, you if you gonna go work on an oil rig in the ocean, but you've never been there, maybe, you know, these VR headsets can be used to train you a little bit, like, you know, been there, done that. You wear them, you can see the whole environment. It's all digital, it's all rendered inside these VR headsets, and then you can see you can see how it looks like, and you can maybe get trained on how to do your tasks before you get to the place, to the oil rig. So a lot of training in the enterprise world. On the AR though, the augmented reality is like I showed you. You wear the glasses; they are see-through, so you can see the real world, but you see also some content, like the virtual content, and you know, floating around you, so you can see the world and see the virtual content together. And there has been a lot on the AR, and you know, there's I think there's now a whole thing called mixed reality, but basically there is an aspect where the content is like a screen, a floating screen in front of you, and you know, it's like a tablet, but now it's head mounted and it's see-through, so you can see the content as if you're seeing, you know, as if you're seeing it on the tablet, but it's floating in the air. And then there is the what has been called now the mixed reality, where uh, you look at the real world and you attach content to it. So, for example, you are working on fixing a pump or an engine. You could see the animation on how you open the valve really on top of the object and attached to it, and even if you move, that content stays attached to the real world. Um, there's a lot of details. I think AR, or this paradigm that, you know, it's a heads up display. It's a display floating in the air. It's gonna eventually move to the mixed reality. But there is a lot of technicalities still on the hardware, on the performance of displays, on the ergonomics of displays. Basically, the 3D generation of content currently is still based on the convergence of the eyes, and while the displays have a single focal distance. So the if the focal distance and the convergence don't really match, then uh, uh, if the focal distance and the convergence don't really match, then this is where you create headaches. So there's a lot of, I think, work that or advancement of technology on the optics, on the processing power, and how fast the CPUs are, the refresh rate of displays, and the refresh rate of the cameras to get the whole experience of AR, of mixed reality, of attaching the content to the real world to be better. Uh, and the next year or two, I think AR will be the main one, uh, with a move to mixed reality. The cool thing about AR currently, specifically now, is that with this paradigm of a head-mounted display, where you present content, you can do a lot. You can really uh, deliver a product that is ergonomically good. It won't hurt the eyes of people. It will not cause headaches, and it will achieve a lot of a very high ROI, a return on investment, meaning that it will solve problems, it will save money, it will save time, and it's ready to be deployed. It's ready to be delivered as a product that is very robust and ready to be deployed in the field, specifically in the enterprise field. Um, but eventually, everything is gonna move to contextualize into like probably mixed reality. But it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take a few years. Any other question?
Okay, so um, I think we have one last question for Nabil, and we are
Ready to?
yeah, we're
Okay.
ready to wrap it up. So um, Nabil, we have a question here. It's about what is the most unique thing about a theory that you would
Yeah.
say?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's thank you for that question. I mean, the most unique thing about Athir uh, is the user experience. Basically, I would frame it in user experience. I'll explain it a little more. User experience of these new, AR and smart glasses. The user experience of smartphones is different than the laptops and computers. And now with these smart glasses and AR glasses, defining the user experience, how you're gonna interact with content, how you're gonna, you know, uh, you know, putting everything together from touch to voice controls to the multiple screens to do also the use cases of collaboration and communication. That is the unique thing on Athir, the real focus on the user experience, and then the connecting the needs of the customers directly to the product and that we are building. So this is a crucial thing for AR, I think. There's a lot of things that you would see, but a lot of them are just demos, and they're more of a proof of concepts. But Athir, the unique thing about Athir is it's focused on delivering a product and a solution that really solve problems and ready to be used and deployed in the real world. And that's why we built the Air Suite and the Air OS. So really knowing and figuring out the use cases, and this is something that comes with every platform or every change of platform. So with your with Windows came Microsoft Office, right? Word, Excel, PowerPoint came to be the main applications of that platform. With the cell phones, there's a lot of killer apps from messaging to stuff like Uber and maps and all that. So these are Uber is made for, you cannot use it on your computer, on your PC. It doesn't make sense. You need to be mobile. It really needs your location, and it's based on that. Similarly, in Aether, we're focusing on what are the real use cases and what are the the uh, the killer application for these, and that's why we built AirSuite. Uh, the other unique thing is focusing on delivering a good experience that makes everything works together. The last question from Norman is: are there any legal issues along with AR? Um, Legal issues. Well, there is that aspect of privacy. I think if you mean that, where people wearing glasses, there are cameras on them, and they can be recording or taking pictures in different places. I mean, that's personally, I don't think that is, I don't feel that is a problem, but I think with all these different devices and privacy in general, I think it takes some time for people to get used to it. I'm not sure if there's currently legally, I think there are some places who ban the wearing glasses that have cameras. But if you think about the enterprise world, and if you are in on your job, and there's nothing like that. So that's why it makes also a lot of sense to, or using AR in the enterprise world is the right way currently of doing things.
Okay, so thank you very much. I think that's the end of our QA session and the end of our live share session. Thank you very much for speaking about augmented reality, and thank you everyone for joining this live share session. We hope to see you again. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.